Today on TNT Big Show, is Dragon Quest now the flagship franchise for Square? All today on TNT Big Show. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Michelle Nantucket.
And this is Sean.
Welcome to the show. Let's get right to the video. And according to financials from Square Enix all the way back in November of last year, Dragon Quest III HD 2D sold 2 million units within a week. And yes, the big majority of those were on the Switch, but they were also on PS5. PC, it sold well. Xbox, not so much. But it did sell at least 300,000 its first week on the PS5 and about 1 million on the Switch 1 alone. So I know they haven't updated the sales, but I'm going to say it's at least over 3.5 million by now.
And we still haven't, do we have the Switch 2 version yet? Or?
But that just leads me to, because Final Fantasy VII Rebirth did not do as good as that. And Dragon Quest X, it's almost at 9 million now. And that is just great. It seems like Dragon Quest now has become Square Enix's flagship franchise.
And why? I'll tell you why. Because Dragon Quest still has its Japanese influence.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. JRPGs in the West just don't mix.
Yeah, I agree. It's just Final Fantasy 1 and 2 is coming out October 30th. And then in February, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined comes out.
Yeah.
Both of those will be absolutely big. So I could see the 7 Reimagined selling over 5-6 million units. I think people are going to love it. And the 12th game, I think, will be out in 27. I think we'll see the first trailer for it next year. But like Sean said, this is why rumor is that after Final Fantasy Rebirth didn't sell as much as Square wanted it to, there was a rumor that they scrapped Dragon Quest XII so that they could just make it more like
Japanese oriented.
So they could just keep the Japanese influence in there and not westernize it. Because Final Fantasy got westernized way too much. And a lot of JRPG fans like JRPGs because we want JRPGs.
Well, see, Michelle, they were trying to reach out to the Sony West fans, you know, and that just failed miserably.
Yeah, I mean, look at Persona 5. Counting Royale and everything, that game is closing in on 10 million units. Persona 3 Reload is already over 2 million units. And with the Switch 2 version coming, you know that's going to boost its sales.
Yeah.
The thing about Persona, just like in Shin Megami Tensei and Dragon Quest, it kept its Japanese
appeal.
So you may want to learn something from that Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Because Final Fantasy Tactics is #1 on the Switch 2 eShop.
Because it has Japanese influence.
Yeah,
it just does.
It's in the top 5 on the Nintendo Switch eShop. It's in the top 10 on the PlayStation. And it's in the top 10 on the Steam Deck charts. Showing that Final Fantasy, when it's Final Fantasy, will sell. I hope this teaches Square Enix a lesson.
Yeah.
But, you know, I love Dragon Quest. I love the cute looking characters and the anime influence, and it's just fun. And sure, they shake up the formula a bit, and that's fine. But they also don't forget to make it a damn role-playing game. That's what Final Fantasy is. It's a Japanese role-playing game, and they wanted to make it more in lines of Call of Duty, and that just was not going to work. It's not going to happen. No way, no how, no way, Jose. There's nothing wrong with wanting to add new things to the formula, change it up and everything, but you do not want to ruin what made it popular.
Exactly.
I'm not against putting in new things and everything. I'm not. Oh, that's why I can understand people being a little like, oh no, what are they doing to Metroid? And I'm like, well guys, it's not like Metroid is going to be nothing but a motorbike ride.
Right, yeah.
From what the rumor is saying is that the bike helps you get around your hub world until you get into the next world.
Yeah.
Now, I don't have a problem with that at all.
I don't either.
You know, I mean, they're shaking the formula up a little bit, but they're not
betraying it.
Right. You're still going to get a lot of scenes, or excuse me, a lot of isolation, exploration, and things like that. Nintendo hasn't got away with that. They haven't.
You know what they were trying to do, Michelle? They were trying to make Final Fantasy into the Devil May Cry. Action, based. They took out all the RPG elements and stuff, and they tried to make it more like the Devil May Cry. Can I tell you something? Play the Devil May Cry, and don't try to subjugate it to Final Fantasy because it ain't working.
Exactly, and I think that's what happened with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which a lot of people said was a lot better than Final Fantasy XVI, but the problem was, I think after Final Fantasy XVI, people were a little bit Final Fantasy out.
Yeah.
They were burnt out a little bit.
Yeah.
And see, Dragon Quest is keeping its good name going, and that makes people be like, yeah, let's have another one.
Well, then you better not westernize 12 then, Square. You better not westernize it.
By the way, thank you everybody for the new subscribers and stuff. And if you like our content, please hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to keep update with all our latest videos. Thank you so much. Let's get back to the video. But yeah, I've really become quite the Dragon Quest fan. And it is because it's a Japanese RPG. It is unabashedly a Japanese RPG. And that is what is making it so appealing and so popular.
Because you're like,
you gotta know what you're good at. And just like some of the people at Final Fantasy just want to jump in head first without knowing little to nothing about the original series.
Final Fantasy games,
they're just bringing them in for big name and money and
movie graphics.
Right, and at the end of the day, what new this year has been showing, gamers still want fun.
Because like I said, Michelle, 40 years ago, 4 decades ago, that graphics were going to hit a wall.
Yeah.
Them parody graphics, I want more parody graphics, I want more. It was going to hit a wall. If people want more realistic graphics than the PlayStation 5, the Xbox, and the Switch 2, go outside. Because that's the only way you're going to get more realistic.
Absolutely. So like I said, let's appreciate what Square is doing with the Dragon Quest series. Now I hope they can do the same thing with Final Fantasy. Maybe Final Fantasy Tactics selling this good
will open their eyes.
Right. It'll make them go, yeah, people still want our traditional JRPG. And I'm not saying don't try to appeal to white audiences. But at the same time, you don't want to alienate your fan base either. No. Maybe they will learn their lesson.
Yep.
This is me, Michelle Lynn Tackett.
And this is Sean.
Have a good one. Thank you for staying to the end of the video and watching it. If you like all of our videos, note to join our other social medias like TikTok, Discord, Reddit, Instagram, Thread, X, and our WordPress blog. You can also support us by joining Patreon for as little as $1 a month, where you will get exclusive content, uncut videos, behind the scenes, watch that trailer, Jack's joke of the week, and my sports input. If you join the $25 tier, I will send you an autographed copy of The Buzzies for free. If you love horror movies and independent content, we're a great place to come and visit because we love supporting other independent creators and stuff. When you support us, you're supporting people who do all of this by ourselves. Me, Michelle, I'm the editor, I'm the director of the videos, I'm the producer, Sean's the executive producer and content creator. So thank you everybody, and please look into supporting our Patreon, as it really does help out. Just $1 a month. Thank you and have a wonderful day.